In this video we're taking a look at the new specs of the DJI Mini 2 and how it compares to its predecessor, the DJI Mavic Mini. I will leave the best specs for the end of the video, where we'll also figure out if the upgrade to the Mini 2 is worth it for you. Both drones are under 250 grams, and that makes them legal to fly without having to register them in USA and many other countries. I believe this feat alone is going to propel the Mini 2 as one of the most popular drones in the lineup of DJI ever. However, the Mini 2 is actually lighter than the original Mini, if you can believe it. DJI managed to make the battery a few grams lighter and more efficient. You can see on DJI's website that the new Mini 2 is under 249 grams, while the original was precisely 249 grams. We can find out why if you read the fine print closely. The new drone is actually 242 grams, including the battery, propellers and the microSD card. You can download the free table I made that precisely compares the specs of these two drones down in the description or here at the top. In terms of pricing, the DJI Mini 2 is just $50 more than the original Mini, which makes it a definite winner considering the many improved specs it comes with for that price. Will DJI still sell the old Mavic Mini? I'm pretty sure they will stop officially selling the first version of the Mini, as they did with the DJI Spark and the original Mavic Pro, since the price difference makes the new Mini 2 a clear winner. The DJI Mini 2 comes in 4K. And yes, you heard that right, 4K up to 30 frames per second footage for this drone, compared to the 2.4K of the Mavic Mini. This makes a considerable difference in footage quality, even if you're editing in 1080p. The sensor size remains the same and both drones take 12 megapixel photos, so we're safe to assume that nighttime video is going to be about the same. The other very important change when it comes to camera quality is the increase of bitrate. Actually, more than doubling it, from 40 megabits per second to 100 megabits per second. This makes for a more precise image with more details in the frame. It simply increases the amount of information the camera receives and processes, so it's more accurate and close to reality. And again, when it comes to the lens, both drones come with 24mm equivalent lens and an f2.8 aperture, nothing changed here. Unfortunately, the Mini 2 doesn't come with D-Log, and just as the original, only the standard profile picture can be used for now. Maybe it will be changed in the future, who knows. If you want to download the complete comparison of the specs between the original Mini and the Mini 2, you can do so down in the description. You can do it for free, and I covered everything from camera to range and even wind resistance there. The camera stabilization of course stayed 3 axes and no additional improvements were made there, as it was already very good. In terms of photos, the DJI Mini 2 also beat our expectations, as it does indeed come with the ability to take RAW photos, which means a better exposure in post-processing and way more control over image and its details. This is one of the features most expected by my viewers, and we have not been disappointed, as it makes it the gold standard for drone photography under 250 grams. The Mini 2 can also take panorama photos directly from the app, without the need for you to stitch them in post-processing. It's good to have, but I definitely don't consider it a groundbreaking improvement. The Mini 2 comes with a few new photography modes, besides being able to shoot panoramas. It can now shoot in sphere mode and 180 degrees. What's also neat is the auto exposure bracketing with 3 bracketed frames, which basically means the drone will take 3 photos at slightly different exposure rates, and that's so helpful since you can always get the perfect exposure. One interesting feature that's also new to the Mini 2 is having 2 times the digital zoom in the app directly for 4K footage and up to 4 times zoom for 1080p. You can of course do it in post-processing, but having a zoom in the app directly makes it way easier to frame a shot better when you see everything directly on the screen. You can also zoom in with the scroll wheel on the remote to make it easier. The Mini 2 can fly 31 minis now, just one more mini than its predecessor, but considering it's the same weight and the same frame and everything, it's still nice to have, because that was already super impressive for its size and more than enough for most shots. However, a thing that most people don't know about is that the hovering time is exactly the same, at 29 minutes, which means they made the drone more aerodynamic. Even though the new battery is lighter than the previous one, it's still superior. But can you use the Mini 1 battery with the DJI Mini 2? Yes, you can indeed use the original Mini 1 battery with the Mini 2 safely, but you can't use the Mini 2 battery on the Mini 1 as it has changed its shape and doesn't fit anymore. One of the biggest changes in the new Mavic is the addition of the OcuSync 2.0, which basically is the best transmission signal DJI has come up with so far. You can find it in more expensive drones like the Air 2 or Mavic 2 Pro. This is absolutely huge, as it makes the signal way stronger and there's no more interference like with the Wi-Fi connection we've had on the Mavic Mini or the Spark. What's more, it can now fly for up to 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles in FCC mode, which basically means USA, and about 6 kilometers or 3.7 miles in CE mode. In both cases, it's way more than enough, and it makes a very close contender for the Mavic Air 2 for people who want a drone under 250 grams. The FCC flight range of 10 kilometers means that you can fly that much if you are from the United States, Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, and a few other countries. Some of my viewers being from Canada and Australia, I thought I should make this clear. The CE range of 6 kilometers is for Russia, France, Germany, Spain, and most European countries. A new factor not known by many is that the Mini 2 comes with an additional GPS substitute, making the positioning even more precise. So besides GPS and GLONASS, which is the Russian satellite system, it also comes with Galileo, and this will most certainly increase the GPS stability a bit. And by the way, I will make a video comparing the new Mini 2 with my DJI Mavic Air 2, so if you don't want to miss that, hit the subscribe and bell notification icon. Another big difference between these two drones, which makes the new drones scarily good, is the way better wind resistance. At least on paper. I will have to test the wind resistance myself soon. The original Mavic Mini had a wind resistance of 29 km/h max, while the new Mini 2 is rated at a level 5 wind resistance, which equals to about 31 to 38 km/h max wind resistance. This makes it on par with the Mavic Air 2, another reason to watch that comparison. If the Mini 2 can fly for longer, is it also faster? It is indeed, as you can fly with about 58 km/h versus the 47 km/h on the original model. That means a 10 km/h increase in speed, which gets it very close to drones like the DJI Mavic Air 2, but not really enough. This speed means that DJI has fixed one of the main issues with the Mini, and that's an error that comes up when you're flying against the wind and the motors can't handle it. The newer drone is faster and stronger, and that's great. It's also faster in normal mode, or position mode as it's called. The new Mini 2 flies at 36 km/h versus 29 km/h of the Mini. The ascent and descent speed has also increased quite a bit from 4 meters per second to 5 meters per second in sport mode, and again from 2 meters per second to 3 meters per second in normal mode. This means you'll be able to land it quicker when you're running out of battery. Unfortunately, no facing cameras have been added to this drone, and it's understandable because it would have been more complex and probably way more. So no, the Mini 2 doesn't come with obstacle avoidance or active track because it doesn't have the two front cameras to do so precisely. However, it still kept the two sensors at the bottom for stability in flight when close to the ground. You can now quickly transfer high-quality files directly to your phone straight from the drone, and it will open a Wi-Fi Bluetooth connection so you can download them up to 20 megabytes per second on your mobile device. When we're talking about the new flight modes, well, the DJI Mini 2 comes with the standard quick shots like Boomerang, Helix, Circle and Rocket. There might be some more flight modes added soon to the list through updates. The package contents of the box you're getting the Mini in haven't changed a lot from the first to the second version. However, there are a few important things we need to talk about. You're getting a prop holder this time, which is helpful to keep the propellers in check when putting the drone away in the bag. Many of my viewers complain that the propellers are a bit flimsy on the Mini. Speaking about propellers, the new props are a bit orange colored at the tip, probably to make them safer to fly and actually know the direction of the drone. Another small change is the battery, that this time is grey instead of black. However, the biggest factor in this package is the new controller. The new transmitter isn't entirely new, as we've already seen it in the Mavic Air 2. It is indeed a bit bigger than what you'd expect for such a small drone, but it's so ergonomic and way easier to use with your phone. There's basically no difference between it and the one on the Mavic Air 2, besides small changes like naming tripod mode Cine mode instead. Compared to the original Mini, the new controller also has twice the battery size, so you won't have to worry much about the controller battery life this time. Do the ND filters for the Mini 1 fit the Mini 2? Because I was wondering myself, as I already have bought a pair of ND filters for my DJI Mini. Yes, the filters of the original Mini 1 do fit on the Mini 2 drone, as the camera size has remained the same. The same goes for all the other accessories, like prop guards and leg stands. The Mini 2 finally also comes with a USB-C port for charging and data transfer, instead of the micro USB that was so 2019. And yes, you can charge the Mini 2 with a cable and a power bank. Speaking of which, I recommend you check my favorite charging cable called Zapcoil. It has magnets on it, so you can coil it right up and make it way tidier to use than standard charging cables. It makes it so that it doesn't get tangled like ever. And yeah, the magnets are safe for your phone, don't worry. And it's pretty fun to play with too. I have a link for it in the description. I'm going to make soon a comparison between this Mini 2 and the DJI Mavic Air 2, which is currently my main drone, to see if the price difference is actually worth it. So, is the upgrade to the Mini 2 worth it? Just like they did with the original DJI Spark and the Mavic Pro, DJI will certainly stop the production of the original Mavic Mini. Since they are so close in price, there's no reason for people to buy it anymore. And if you wonder if you should upgrade from the Mini to the Mini 2, I would say selling the original Mini and getting the new version is the best way to go. You won't lose much money in the process, and you'll get a 4K camera drone with OcuSync 2.0. You can't really beat that. So yes, go in the description, check the current price. I recommend getting the Fly More combo as always, and get your brand new Mini 2. So I suggest you check one of the videos right here because it's probably going to be something that's interesting for you. If you want to download the free comparison table between the Mini and the Mini 2, you can click over here. And that's about it. Let's not make this awkward. Thanks for making it this far, but just click one of these, subscribe, or yeah.